Hi everybody and welcome to Still Sassy. Are you constantly striving for perfection, only to feel exhausted and never quite satisfied? This relentless pursuit might be holding you back from truly enjoying life, and it's time to do something about it. In this video I'll uncover how perfectionism may be affecting you and share practical tips to break free and to embrace the beauty of, well, not being quite perfect. Perfectionism is much more common than you think, which is a shame as it's so harmful to our happiness. So why am I talking about perfectionism? Well, yet again, it's an issue that affects women more than men, and it doesn't discriminate by age. Perfectionists need to be in control, and of course, as we get older, lots of things happen that we can't control, so it can become more of an issue than ever. Think bodies changing, wrinkles arriving, hormones rampaging, our sex lives changing or stopping, and our family dynamics constantly on the move. All these things we can't control. And if we have perfectionist tendencies, then our anxiety about all of this could go off the chart. Sadly, and like with a lot of things, social media has made things a whole lot worse in the perfectionism stakes. We all strive to be better, fitter, have more interesting lives, achieve more, etc. because online people seem to have it all. But of course, we know that isn't true really. On this channel, my aim is to help women over 50 overcome their mindset issues and also chat about how to feel fabulous using skincare and makeup, even if these are subjects you've never dabbled with before. If you're interested in this too, then please join the Sassy community by clicking on the subscribe buttons below. We have so much to talk about. So what does perfectionism look like? I can tell you now that life for a perfectionist is pretty hard work. And if you are one, or think you might be one, you'll know this already. They are forever setting unrealistically high expectations for themselves and others, and are quick to find fault. And if someone makes a mistake, even a teeny tiny one, they are uber critical of them. They are exhausting to work and live with, as no one escapes their gaze. If you're a perfectionist, you might find yourself constantly nagging the people you live with about how they never do anything correctly. Filling the dishwasher or parking the car, for instance. This can really grind people down. Perfectionists are also very good at procrastinating, which they do out of a fear of failure. They may never start a project, for instance, and many opportunities are missed in their personal and professional lives due to the constant what if. Then when they do achieve something, big or small, they shrug off all the compliments and never ever celebrate their success. Basically, perfectionists fear judgment or disapproval from others and have never learned to deal with this when it happens. So they try their best to do everything perfectly so their life stays on an even keel. Exhausting? Yes, pretty much so. As a coach, the people who come to me with this issue often ask if their perfectionism is a mental disorder. The answer to this is no, but it is linked to anxiety and other mental health issues, such as obsessive-compulsive disorder and depression. It's actually a personality characteristic, defined as striving for flawlessness in everything. So what causes this behaviour? It's mostly a combination of genetic predispositions and environmental factors, such as childhood experiences and personality traits. So the expectations on you as a child could have been a starting point. Maybe for you, receiving love or praise was conditional on your performance. Or maybe you had to jump through hoops to get any attention. At work, you may have been managed by someone who was never satisfied, and you had to strive for perfectionism to get anything past them. They were probably perfectionists themselves, to be honest. In some cases, perfectionists may unconsciously revisit these childhood issues by choosing partners and friends where validation and love is dependent on what they do for them. So it's a never-ending circle that they can never seem to escape from. Perfectionists expect perfection in all things: work, family, leisure. They just have to get everything spot on. Perfect, in fact. They crave approval all the time and struggle to do or complete things if they're not receiving any. Negative feedback, big or small, makes them defensive. They can't believe they may have done something below par, so they then strive to be even more perfect. And they are highly critical of others. And, as I've said, they're big procrastinators. And they are most likely to always be full of guilt. So one question is, are perfectionists ever really happy? Now this is a tricky one to answer because obviously happiness means different things to everyone. However, sadly, mostly they are not happy. Even when a perfectionist achieves success, they do not experience the delight of the accomplishment like the rest of us do. Instead, there's only relief that this time they didn't mess up. They lead their lives convinced that perfection is the only means to self-acceptance. Happiness is miles away from them, sadly. Like any mindset issue, there are triggers that make the situation worse. For perfectionists, these are things like deadlines, performance reviews, tests, criticism from family members, speaking in public, and social media. For us more mature women, those perfectionists amongst us may start to find being sociable trickier as they see the physical changes that being older brings with it. Are perfectionists insecure? Well, perfectionists often experience frustration, shame, disappointment, and self-blame when their high expectations of themselves are not met. It can cause frequent negative thoughts, worry, and self-doubt. It really is a cauldron full of messy goop. One of the hardest things that perfectionists will face is its impact on their relationships. It can cause a lot of strain. The unrealistic expectations of everyone around them can lead to disappointment and therefore conflict. If you find yourself struggling to delegate tasks or expecting too much from those around you, it's time to reassess. Practice empathy and understand that everyone, including you, is allowed to make mistakes. Otherwise, you'll be constantly pushing people away. Nobody wants that. And then, if you tie your self-worth to achievements, perfectionism can lead to massive issues with negative self-esteem. Failing to meet high standards can make you feel inadequate or unworthy. Remember, your value isn't defined by your accomplishments. Please try to celebrate your efforts and learn from setbacks without harsh self-criticism. Before I go on to talk about some of the things you can do to help with all of this, it's time to make like a coach and ask yourselves a few searching questions around your perfectionism tendencies. This is going to help you understand how it's affecting you. Like a lot of things, admission is the first step to recovery. You need to admit to being a perfectionist and lean into this issue. You can't challenge what you don't perceive to be true. Admit to always wanting everything to be perfect, and let's live with it for a bit. So I want you to find a quiet place and a spot of time to sit and ponder the answers to the following questions. If you've got a journal and you like using one, then you can do this here. Now don't rush this exercise, but please try to get through it all in one sitting. It's not going to take massively long. So here we go. Number 1, how is being a perfectionist helping you? Second, what is it costing you when it comes to money, mental and physical health, relationships, your business, your career, etc. Number 3, what could be a more beneficial outcome and how much do you want that on a scale of 1 to 10? Number 4, a positive mantra can help unblock a negative thought pattern. What could you use? What words will help you unblock this perfectionism? What can you put in place to alert you to when you are behaving like a perfectionist? Number 6, when you notice this behaviour, what could you do instead? What ritual will help? Now this is a biggie. Number 7, take a moment to think what your life will be like if you look back and you never bothered to sort this issue out. How do you feel? Number 8, who is benefiting most from your perfectionism? Now we've identified how perfectionism might be affecting you, let's explore some of the strategies that are open to you to help you manage it. Set realistic goals and adjust your expectations so that everything becomes more achievable. Focus on progress over perfection. It's alright to have poor things happening. You can't always be perfect. Then treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. Allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from them. That's all you can do really. Learn from everything you do that isn't quite right, or if you perceive it not to be quite right. Work to recognise that imperfection is part of life and can lead to growth and creativity. Striving to be perfect will not lead to growth, no matter how much you try to tell yourself it will. As always, prioritise self-care and take time for yourself to relax and recharge. This will help reduce stress and improve your overall well-being. Talk to friends, family, or a mental health professional about your perfectionist tendencies and work together to find balance. Leaving perfectionism unchecked ruins lives, yours and those around you. So let me ask you, what one thing are you going to do today, right now, to move you one step closer to ditching the perfectionism. Okay, that's given you food for thought, I'm sure. Now I'm off to make a not perfect cup of tea. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.